good morning, Atlanta. Good morning, Southeast, East Coast, West Coast. Good morning, wherever you are. And if you're listening on YouTube, thank you for coming here and make sure you continue to come. Press the notification, press like. Thank you for being part of this family. Today we have Inga Faison, and we are excited to have you. Thank you for stopping by once again. And we're going to have a conversation that is fun for me. I am someone who loves the world of sales. So today's question is going to be, which sales tactics do you love or loathe? Now, if you're in business, and everybody is in business in some way or another,
Exactly.
someone is either you're selling or someone in your company is selling, right? So this conversation is for you. This is how the product and services move around. Somebody's got to be offering those products and services to someone, right? And that movement is what gets the economy going, is what gets us to eat and sleep and have fun. And so we owe everything to those men and women who one day woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to sell something today. Either it's an idea, or there's a product, or either it's a service. So thank you all, amazing, incredible salespeople who are moving the economy every day. So today we have Inga Faison-Cavitt, and I'm just going to say a little bit about her. This really is a tip of the iceberg, just to get a context of who she is. She is an authenticity strategist. She left her engineer career to follow her entrepreneur spirit, and now she lives her dream life full of faith, family, freedom, flexibility, and fitness. She enjoys empowering women to live their best life and helps women become top earners by using authentic lead generation and sales strategies that treat people like humans and not like numbers. And that's a very big deal. That's a very important thing to say. And thank you for creating that. Because in my career, every now and then, when I had a chance to be part of a sales organization, most people start with the opportunity of growth and empowering and be mission driven. And then it becomes about the numbers, and it takes away
Right.
all the drive around a person's heart.
Yep.
So, Inga, thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. How are you?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here.
Yes, yes. So, Inga, sales. I love talking about this conversation. How did your sales career, if you will, or how did you get in some degree, involved in the opportunity that sales is?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say for those of you that are not quote unquote salespeople, similar to what you had mentioned, Gio, is if you don't sell a product or service, you definitely are selling an idea. So my sales, I guess my sales job or really profession started when I started in a direct sales company. And it was just merely a way of me being around some positive women. And I wanted to kind of get out of my shell because I've always been very shy. So this was my opportunity to step out of my comfort zone and to develop a skill that I didn't necessarily have, and that was interacting with people. I was definitely one of those folks that would have to kind of feel you out before I would really kind of talk to you, or even I would say show the true Inga. I think I've told you guys that before. So that when I started that business, that was my way of just kind of working through that, because I knew that if I wanted to go and really do big things in a corporate job that I had at that time, that I needed to be more approachable and be able to talk to people and not be as shy as I was.
Mm. And so what I'm hearing you're saying is that you were able to include the introvert aspect of you, or the shyness of you, and still be able to create relationships that would eventually generate a sale and revenue. Is that what you're pointing to?
Well, I guess at that time, I didn't really figure that part of it out yet, because a lot of the people that I was being trained by were extroverts. So they were teaching me how to be an extrovert. And
Mm.
I felt, and I still, and I mean, we live in an extroverted world. And I feel like when people, because we live in an extroverted world, people expect you to act as an extrovert to be successful. So when I
Mhm.
went through that particular part of my life and that training that I went through, I did it. It never really felt good to me. And then it was just like, there's got to be another way. So as a result of me going through the trials and tribulations of trying to figure out how I could do it another way and still be successful, is where I come. This is where my strategies have come through, really through trial and error. Because I really didn't have
Mm.
another extroverted type of salesperson to train me on how to do the business, I guess, the way that I've kind of figured out how to do.
So when we look at the question today, right? Which sales taxes do you love or you loathe?
Right.
How did you turn it around, or how did you pivot so that you can include a more introvert kind of personality? What are the strategies that you started seeing that were going to work for you?
Right. So as an introvert, I just kind of focused on the things that I knew I was good at. I am a naturally, I do very well by myself. So I had to figure out a way that I could come up with a strategy that would allow me to be somewhat in my comfort zone of by myself. I am a deep thinker. So I'm coming up with all kinds of scenarios and options that I could come up with that would actually go through the goal. So then it gave me more of a strategy on, okay, well, I'm going to try this and see if this works. And if this doesn't work, then I'll try this. This is my plan B, plan C, plan D. Then it became, well, I really want to be authentically connecting with the people that I'm talking to. So I wanted to be more of an and have an empathy for the folks that I was interacting with. So then that kind of played into it too. I want to feel real. I want to be authentic, and I want to really genuinely talk to people and find out more about them so they could feel seen, heard, and understood. And then lastly, the good listener. That was my method of making sure that they were being heard and understood and even seen, because based on what they shared with me, I could then go back and share with them in a response that they knew that I heard what they said. I understood what they were saying. So I guess that was really my main focus of just using my innate gifts to do a business that I love. Because at the end of the day, everybody is selling something, like you just said, an idea, a service, or a product. So,
Or themselves?
or themselves, exactly. Which in
Yeah.
any case would kind of be an idea. So yeah.
Yeah, in that case, it would be an idea. I am an
Yep.
idea.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. And so when we look at you when you say I started focusing more on what my strengths are for the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity of selling, right? For the opportunity of growth. And you were saying my strengths were to connect with people authentically. My
Yep.
strengths were to be empathetic to others. And one of your strengths is to really listen, like you really care what people are dealing with or what they care about. And that gave you a pathway to embrace the opportunity that sales are without having to model someone who's more comfortable getting attention, if you will, or being
Right.
out there.
Right.
So now I have a kind of a question. How did you now manage to be in the same way that you started focusing on your strengths and allowing your strengths to use you? Now you are the daily huddle, right? And right now there's how many people are here? But there's a significant number of people here, and then now in YouTube, and then now I'm imagining that you're allowing yourself to be out there.
Right.
And so how did you or what are the strengths that now you use to allow yourself to be with many, so that because eventually sales is about being with many
Right.
also. So how did you manage to make that transition, or what are the things that what are the strategies that you use to allow yourself to be with many?
So one thing that I discovered through trial and error was that I'm really good on video. Now, when I first did my video, I I didn't do well, but it was, as you know, anytime you do something new, you're going to suck at it. So you have to continue to do it to get better at it, to get the results, and then have the confidence to be able to do something again. So basically what I wanted to do was basically a 4-step process. I decided I wanted to act. I decided I wanted to do the video. I knew I was going to suck at it. I knew if I kept doing it, I would get the results, which would then make me confident in doing it. So that is one of the means that I use to allow me to talk to the masses. Another means that I do is writing. Not something that I really did a lot of when I in school. I really hated to write. You gave me some numbers and some math. I was all about it. And I guess that's one of the reasons why my profession was engineering. But I didn't really like to write. But I soon discovered, as a result of acting, using that same 4-step process, I acted and I started writing. I initially did suck, but then I got the results. So then I started getting offers from magazines asking me to write as a guest contributing writer. So that was another means for me to get my message out to the masses. So in those two examples, it was all that I started. I made it a point to take action and do something different. And then I did it long enough to get the results, which gave me the confidence to possibly find another means now. So I've done the magazines. I have an email list that I faithfully send messages out to on a regular basis. So I connect a lot with my community as well as my clients through email and even text messages, because this is my happy place. It allows me to share my thoughts and be empathetic to the people that are interacting with me and still be in my happy place of by myself, where I can really
But
focus on
not
what I
quite by
need to do.
yourself. You are in a magazine, you're at the Daily Huddle, you do consulting, you do coaching consulting. So
Right,
you are someone who's really out there while you are comfortable being by yourself as well. It's very, so I see what you're pointing to when you're saying that you really support people in getting to be their authentic self or the
right,
greatest expression of themselves.
right,
And what I'm hearing you're saying is that you don't need to, or a person doesn't need to become somebody else
right.
to be successful or to surrender to what they love. Just
Exactly.
however you are works. There are certain strengths, is what I'm hearing from you, that allow you to really shine, that allow a
Right.
person to really shine. So now, in continuing, so I want to take the conversation in a different direction because I thought this was really cool what you were saying. But I'm going to try to not take it to a different direction and still continue to be in the sales world. I'm going to try to combine it. One of the things that you said that I really liked was you discovered that you like video. You
Mhm.
discovered this.
Right.
And so I think a lot of folks, more often than not, don't take the opportunity to discover something new about themselves.
Right.
So you discover you like video and like you knew you were going to be good at it. And at the same time, you knew you were going to suck at it.
Right.
And you were okay sucking at it for a while, like the way you said it. How did you manage, or what is this? What do you say to yourself to allow yourself to continue to do something, even though as you see it, you're like, this is terrible, but I'm going to continue to do it anyway, because I think that's something that is necessary in the world of sales. Allow yourself to be out there enough so that you find your own, comfort zone, if you will. So how
Right.
did you manage to continue to be terrible at video and then eventually get comfortable and actually good at it?
Right. So with video and even with writing, I knew with video, I had done this video for my business, and it was for a sale. I think it was like a Black Friday sale that I was doing, and I wanted to communicate with my community via video. So what, like I said, I did suck initially, and I kept doing it. And once I did it, it was like I did one take and it sucked. And then I was just like, okay, well, that wasn't that bad. So I did it again and it sucked. And I was just like, okay, well, that still wasn't bad, but that was better. But then when I did it that third time, it was just like, oh, I got this now. And I could tell that I was like, I gave it a little bit, I was really stiff initially. But then on the third time, I had done it enough that my personality had come out and I kind of felt good about it. Now, granted, I probably could have done it a fourth time and it would have been even better, but I was on a time frame because I was doing it on my lunch break. And I happened to be in a parking lot when I was doing it because I didn't have I didn't have like a ring light like I have right now. So I was using natural light. So it was some constraints that were on me that I was just like, okay, well, this third one is good enough and I'm going to roll with it. But it was because I did it over and over again. And then after I did it, I stopped. And I waited like maybe 6 months after that. And I realized I was at that same stage I was when I did it the first time. So it was just like, well. if I'm going to have to rebuild this up, this confidence up all over again, I'm just not going to stop doing it. I'm just going to keep doing it because I know if I stop, I'm going to have to start all over again. And I just wanted to make another comment when I was saying that I like to be alone. When when I do video, when I did the video, I was by myself when I did it. I didn't have anybody in front of me talking to. So it was kind of it was me by myself, but I was sending it out to other people. Even when I'm writing by myself. I'm not in a group of people writing, but I'm actually physically writing my thoughts down by myself. But when I have thoughts, like right now, I can share my thoughts because I've already taken the time to deeply think about it and focus on it and really have a perspective on it, that I can share that perspective with you guys as I'm doing now. But if I'm in the process of trying to figure it out, I do better figuring it out by myself and then being able to present it, then more so than
You with
extroverts
many.
being, yeah, oh, well, what about this? And what about that? I need to, what about this? What about that by myself? And then I can give
First,
you, yeah, exactly. So that's the difference. And that's what I was wanting to convey when I said that,
I got you.
my
So you
happy
kind of
place is
know
by myself.
yourself.
Right. You got to
You've
know where
gotten to
you're
a
good.
place.
Yeah,
That is so
exactly.
great. So I really love your story, and time is flying by at the
Yeah.
Daily Huddle. Always time flies by. But I want to continue to see, or just kind of get the nuggets of who you are. I So when Sorrel told me that you were coming back, so I had a chance to look at what you've done, and as you're sharing, you started in the direct sales, but it took a while for you to be able to understand the
Right.
intricacies and the art of sales and building an organization or building a team. But you eventually became the top 5 money earner. You got rings, you got the cars. I think you said you got the car twice. I mean, you've got to do some real sales to get the car.
Right.
And so, and now, how do you, now you're out there and you're being yourself, and now your authentic self. How do
Right.
you help? How do you help others, or how do you help yourself to continue to have a structure for scalability, right? Because you've got to continue to have sales, right,
Right.
to be able to get um, to the top places, if you will, or to the top. What do you say to yourself, or what do you say to others about having a structure that allows for scalability?
I think the structure that allows for sellability is personal development. I understand myself better now than I ever
I'm sorry,
have.
I meant to say scalability, like to scale.
Right, right, to scale.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm with you. So, when I say personal development, having that personal development that's going to help you be okay with sucking so you can get the results, and then know that you're going to constantly have to be tweaking and repeating to kind of figure out how you can go to the next level, because it's a process. You're not going to start off as a baller, as what we would say, from the beginning. It is a process. It is a journey. And as you continuously take those steps, you walk up that staircase of success. It's a never ending staircase of success. We all know that we can never see the top because we get to one level and we want to do the next thing. But having that personal development and knowing that it's okay to suck is going to allow you to do that, and to continuously
Mm,
learn different strategies and different ideas that you may have never come across or even thought about on your own. But because you have that growth mentality, or really growth mindset, that's what's going to help you scale for sure.
mm, mm. Growth mentality, allowing myself to be with the chaos of growth or the failure of growth. I love that. I really love that quote. I don't know if it's from Winston Churchill, but I think they refer it to him, which it says that success is about going from failure to failure
Yeah.
with enthusiasm.
Yep.
And I really see that coming out of you. Like, yeah, I was really bad at videos, but the second one was a little bit better, and the third one was a little bit better. And yeah, I was at the parking lot. That did not work, but it was okay. I'm gonna go with that. And it was just phenomenal to see that kind of enthusiasm, and not necessarily getting too ahead of oneself
Right.
of where it could be or should be. It's
Right.
like wherever it is right now works for
Yep.
the next step, if you will. This is my building block for what's coming next.
Right.
So that's really, really phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. So you're saying one of the aspects that allows people to grow in their sales is their growth and development, is personal growth and development.
Yep.
And so I imagine that you have taken it serious, given the results that you've had. What are some places that you go, or what do you do to nurture yourself year after year in the world of personal growth and development?
Well, I make it a point on a daily basis to read I'm reading something, or I'm doing some kind um, of program or task or topic. Right now, for example, I'm working on SEO. I'm learning SEO. I feel like this is going to help me really level up my business to the point that I want it to go in an organic kind of way. So
And SEO will be search
I'm
engine
sorry. Yes, search.
optimization through
Yes,
Google,
search.
right?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm working on it now. But it's because of that. Last year, I was working more on my messaging. So every year it's something different. So like you were saying, how am I constantly working to scale up, or how am I working to help others scale up? We're finding out where they are, and then coming up with ideas about, okay, so if what do you think you need to get you to the next level? Okay, well, let's do that and work on that task, and not worry about what the next step above that is. Let's get this step first, and then we can go to the next step. And last year, like I said, was messaging. This year it's like, okay, it's really visibility. So how can I be more visible? And one of the ways that I'm doing that is through SEO.
Last year was messaging, and this year is visibility. I like how you're able to structure that, like the engineer that you are. Okay, this
Yeah.
year I'm going to work on messaging. And messaging is a big deal. I think that will be another episode for the Daily Huddle. How to create a message that connects with people to the right audience, right?
Yep.
And thank you for taking on SEO, because I want to learn. So if you can come back and teach us how to do SEO, will be really, really good, given that Google is a big machine,
Yeah, it
and
is.
we can all use it to grow our businesses. So time is almost up, but I'd love for any of you, if you have any questions or any comments, please feel
Let's
free
see.
to raise your hand to continue the possibility of the conversation. So while somebody raises their hand, I have a question to continue. So how becoming the top five and getting the rings and getting the cars, that really takes something. How do you structure your day so that you can get a lot of momentum?
Well, first and foremost, my phone is on do not disturb all the time. So I make it a point, like we had mentioned before, to really be able to focus. So I eliminate the distractions as much as I can. I don't have any like notifications on my phone. Like if I got a message from Facebook, or somebody sent me a message from Facebook, or if somebody sent me a text message or anything like that, the only way that I know that someone sent it to me is I have to physically go into the app and look at it. So I'm all about making sure that I don't have those kind of distractions that will take away my focus, because I know that if I'm working on something, it's going to take me 23 minutes to get back in my flow if I'm distracted. And 23 minutes is a lot of time when you're trying to get stuff done. So uh, being distraction free is very important to me. I also have a happy place where I play music. I play the same song over and over again, just to kind of put, when I hear that song, I know that I am in my work mode and that I'm ready to grind it out. So it kind of gives me that environment mentally that, Inga, it's time to do work. And then I make sure that I take breaks on a regular basis. I have what's called jam sessions. For those of you that are familiar with Darren Hardy, I'm definitely a Darren Hardy groupie, in that I do have jam sessions that are about 90 minutes, and I take anywhere from 10 to 30-minute breaks, just to kind of give my brain a break, so then I can go back and grind it out. And that's really been beneficial to me as well. So
And when you say grind it out, you mean you get on the phone and you make calls to prospects, or what
if
do you do?
if that, it could be that, or it could be sending out. I'm, again, as an introvert, I prefer written I prefer written communication over phone calls. I still get on the phone if I have to, but I do prefer written. So I have text campaigns that I will set up that will send out on a frequency where I don't necessarily have to do it myself. I'm all about automation. So if I can figure out a way that I can communicate with my tribe, or my community via a written word. It's going to be a text. It may even be an email campaign. I'm going to be setting up those. So those are the kind of things that I would be working on to make sure that I have that communication with my folks. It would be the training, like I talk about. I have training aspects of my call. And then, of course, going to different networking events. I do participate in person as well as virtual networking events and talk to people on social media. So those are my ways of interacting and building more visibility and getting to more things like this, so I can collaborate with more people and share my message more to many instead of just one at one time. So,
and build your tribe. On a different occasion, I want to hear how did Inga from her phone and her computer build her tribe by doing through, because this is fascinating, right? Most of us really think that we need to be extroverts to create a tribe, and what you're saying is not necessarily.
No.
Right? So that's really great. So the way that I'm hearing that Inga creates her day to keep momentum is 0 distractions, or as much as you can, 0 distractions. Airplane notification, no notifications. I mean, you make sure that people cannot take you away, because it takes you 22 minutes to get back into what you were doing. Right. Also, you have your happy place, which is a song. What is that song, by the way? We should play that song. You have a happy place.
It varies, but yeah.
You have a happy place that allows you to get on your zone. And then you also have your breaks, which are critical. From Darren Hardy, he says you got to have breaks so that you can continue momentum rather than burning yourself out.
Right.
And then grinding looks either by building text campaigns, either sometimes getting on the phone, going to networking events, virtually and in person. So Inga, thank you so much for being here. Time is always kind of flying by here at the Daily Huddle. I love that you came. I love to hear next time about messaging. What have you learned through messaging? How did you build your tribe? Because it takes something to build a community, and that's a very big deal. And how do you manage those communications with them so that they don't get overloaded by you? So I want to hear all of those things. So hopefully you come back. Inga, thank you again. Is there anything you want to say to end today's conversation?
I guess other than just telling people just to be their authentic selves, it's okay to be an introvert. It's you are in good company when you think of introverts. People like Elon Musk and Oprah Winfrey. These people are very high achievers and people that you think about and you're like, wow, how did they do that? Well, they didn't do it being an extrovert. They did it being an introvert. And not saying there's anything wrong with being an extrovert, but be who you are and use your innate gifts to do what you were meant to do. And that's probably walk out your passion, whatever that may be.
I love it. Thank you, Inga. Thank you for being here. And thank you, all of you, for being here and being part of the Daily Huddle family. Thank you for being a Daily Huddler. I love you. Have a great weekend. And remember, there are 8 tenets to have a renegade life, and I want you to have a renegade life. The first one is love. Love always. Love those who you have an opinion about. Love those who you disagree with. Love those who voted different from you. Vote. I mean, love. Love. Eat more plant-based. Get closer to the trees. Hug the trees. Eat the trees. Eat more plant-based. Let the animals run. Sleep more, at least 7 hours. Sleeping is the cure to everything. Sleep a little bit more. Walk every day. Move your body, walk every day. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes after lunch, walk every day. Make sure you give. Give what you have. Give 10% to something. Contribute. Give your jealousy away. Give your resentment away. Give it all away. And I know I'm forgetting something, but I'm going to end with this one. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check your assumptions.
And move
that body. Might not be true.
Move that body.
What was it? What'd you say?
Move that body.
And then move your body again. I love you. Sorrel loves you more. Have a great day. Bye, Rashida.
Right. Thank you, Inga. Thank you, Inga. Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Good job, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Inga.
Oh, and one love.